How to paint. Painting with Acrylics Guide for Beginners. You decide that you want to dive headfirst into painting with acrylics but have no idea where to start. Every tutorial gives you a new way, a new surface, a new brand, and a whole lot of nevers and don'ts. So what is it that you are supposed to do? Where are you supposed to go? What do you even buy? I feel your pain. Painting with acrylics has always made complete sense to me. Acrylics dry fast, they are easy to use, and you only need a few additional supplies. And you can whip out a new painting in an hour and have it hanging on the wall before bedtime. And as an added bonus, they are super easy to clean up, and we all know how much I hate that part. A few things you absolutely need to start painting with acrylics: some type of surface, acrylic paint, brushes, coffee cup or jar for water, old t shirt or some paper towels, primer, either household variety or gesso, and something to paint. Sounds so easy and doable. Everything you need is probably already somewhere in your house, and if not, we could find some perfectly legit alternatives to what you don't have. Nothing has to be professional quality. We aren't selling our paintings for millions or billions yet. We are just trying to satisfy our need for art. Let's gather some supplies using my ultimate supply list for beginners, or you can keep reading to find a more in-depth overview of options. The ultimate painting with acrylic supply list for beginners. Craft paints in a variety of colors, your choosing. Stretched canvas, 3x3, 5x7, 8x10. Old coffee mug with water for rinsing brushes. Brushes, your choosing. Paper towel for drying brushes. Surfaces for painting with acrylics. One great thing about painting with acrylics is that they can go on just about any surface with very little prep. Let's break down some places I personally use acrylic paints and what I use to prep them. Sketchbooks. If you have a sketchbook that has thicker paper, this is a very solid choice. It is worth having a spot where you can watch your artist's self grow from the beginning. Thinner paper may have some unexpected tantrums that make the process more difficult. Finding a sketchbook labeled mixed media will have fewer tantrums. Prep needed. No prep is needed, but you can put a thin layer of gesso or acrylic paint. This will help alleviate blank page syndrome. Repurposed books. Much like the sketchbook, this is a solid choice for keeping all your experiments in one place. One small caveat: the paper may curl, way more than expected, but you won't be scared off by blank page syndrome and can comfortably stash this away from prying eyes while you learn and explore. I actually use one of these repurposed books for those not so good days when I'm blocked and can't art. There's something freeing about it. The pages are already ruined by a bunch of words I don't want to read, so no harm, no foul. Prep needed. No prep is needed, but you can put a thin layer of gesso or acrylic paint if you choose. Canvases. Canvases are our go-to when it comes to any type of painting. They come in various sizes and thicknesses and are usually pre-primed, so you can just grab one and go. We have two versions to choose from. Stretched canvases. These are usually wood frames wrapped with canvas and primed. More expensive than canvas boards and easier to hang. Canvas boards. Canvas wrapped cardboard core. These are less expensive but prone to warping. I would suggest trying them both just to do it. Prep needed. No prep is needed, but you can put a thin layer of gesso or acrylic paint if you choose. If you want less canvas texture, you can add a few layers of gesso, lightly sanding in between layers to make a smoother surface. I would suggest a fine grit sandpaper and an outside environment. To reduce the occasional canvas peek through since it's textured surface, apply a light neutral tone layer of acrylic to the canvas to fill in those nooks and crannies. An off-white or light gray would do, but if you are feeling a bit daring, choose a pastel or a color you normally don't like and see how it transforms you or you it. That's the great thing about art. Wood. Wood panels are another popular choice when it comes to acrylics. You can cut them to size and choose any shape you want. You can also find pre-cut bare wood projects at many craft stores. Prep needed. Sand the entire piece with a bit of fine grit sandpaper with the grain in an outdoor environment and wipe it down with a damp cloth when you are done sanding. Follow this with a layer or two of primer. You can pick this up from any hardware store or gesso, since we want to put a barrier between our paint and the bare wood. Otherwise, the wood will just suck in all the paint and all our hard work will be lost. Rocks, bricks. Rocks and bricks are a popular item to paint with acrylics as they are easy to find, easy to get rid of, and a fun way to spend the day arting. Also a great way to contribute some art to anyone's garden, including your own. Prep needed. Wash with soap and water, let dry completely. Add 2 layers of primer before painting with acrylics, and after you've completed your artwork, add a layer or 2 of outdoor varnish. Cardboard. If you struggle with "I don't want to ruin it," cardboard is a great choice because it is easy to find, easy to throw away, no commitment or stress needed. In all honesty, cardboard has been a lifesaver. When I am not confident in my abilities after a long hiatus, or when I'm broke and can't waste canvases, cardboard has come to the rescue. I still have all the paintings I've done. They aren't terrible. There's no need to stress because, as I've already stated, those paintings are easy to throw away. Prep needed: a layer of primer, gesso, or acrylic paint. It's just cardboard and you can paint on it, but it's brown and coated in God knows what. What kind of paint should I use? Paint options. Craft paint. Craft paints are usually my go-to for painting with acrylics since they are inexpensive, easy to use, readily available in stores, including home improvement varieties, and come in many, many colors. You don't need to spend a lot or learn color theory in order to mix your preferred colors, and they probably have more colors to pick from than you will ever want to use. For starting out, these paints are probably the most forgiving, so you can worry more about what to paint and less about why the paint is not working as expected. Tubed artist paints. I will be 100% honest here. I have major issues with the tubed acrylic paints. It might have a lot to do with the fact that I prefer oils over acrylics, and maybe, just maybe, my tubed acrylics know this and they have figured out a way to get back at me. I really don't know. I just can't seem to figure out how to mix them. They seem too opaque to me. Again, oil painter speaking here. Could just be a total operator error. But I am trying to understand them. I really am. Craft paints and markers just seem to work better for what I want them to do. But my promise to you, I will figure them out. Paint markers. These come in a variety of colors and tip sizes, and if you are anything like me, having a pen in hand is more comfortable than a brush, especially for outlines and details. I like having the permanence and color selection of paint with more control. It feels a lot like having a marker in hand, only these markers lay on top of one another quite nicely. Layering is actually a possibility with the paint markers, and without a mess, as long as you have the patience to let things dry. What should I paint? Choosing a subject. This is probably the hardest choice to make when it comes to creating art. What should I make? How about 1. Pick a favorite song lyric, movie quote, movie scene, album cover, food, or restaurant. Number 2. Use your phone. Image gallery. Choose random or paint them all. Apps. Paint your favorite app icon or any icon. Make them all butts or flowers or both. A conversation you had recently. Paint it. I had one about how to get rid of an unwanted katana. 3. Gaming. Screenshot, lore, flora and fauna, your character. Number 4. Family and friends. Ask what they want a painting of. The great thing about all of these is that the images are readily available to you. Print them out, trace them, transfer them any way you see fit. I will not judge. I just want you to paint, and paint you shall. Public service announcement. I am not condoning stealing of other people's art and calling it your own, just so we are clear.